with all the buzz around Salesforce Agentforce, that I take a couple of minutes with Mark, our Chief Technology Officer, to find out what it really means for the customer and employee experience. Mark, thanks for joining me.
Great to be here. Thanks, Steve.
Let's start straight in. Mark, I heard a rumor that you had designed and activated an agent in London this week.
I may or may not have designed and activated a Salesforce Agentforce agent yesterday, indeed.
Interesting. Very coy. We'll find out a bit more about that later. What problem did the agent solve, if you did?
So it's a really interesting use case. Salesforce invited a few partners to Salesforce Tower yesterday to do some enablement. And the use case orientated around a travel agency who has certain interest groups, so everything from families to thrill seekers. And as you'd expect, a company like that would be receiving a lot of queries, bookings, amendment booking requests online, through call centers, etc. And really what we were doing is building agents to replicate the actions and interactions that a human would have, catering to those needs.
Okay, perfect. Sounds very interesting. How did you find the experience of building the agent itself?
To be honest, it was a lot simpler than I had anticipated. So coming to the session, I was expecting, to get my hands dirty. I like doing that. I'm a sort of engineer at heart. So I was expecting to maybe write some Apex code, build some flows. And it was not so much that as it was really using natural language to build the agent out. So you have this concept of topics, which are collections of instructions that you give to the AI, and actions, which could be prompts or flows that you want to launch that do certain things. So to come back to the use case, customer comes onto the website, asks some questions around what bookings they can make or amend. We built maybe one or two flows that would query records, create records in Salesforce, but the majority of the work that we were doing was giving instructions to the AI. So just using natural language to explain to an agent to how to interact with someone centered around a particular use case. It's very enjoyable.
Okay. And you talked a little bit about some of the technical skills of Apex and the likes in the past. Are there any specific AI or technical skills you feel that are required or kind of stood out to you that you need?
Well, this is exactly it. Not really. So, my background, I've done a bit of development in the past, and I'm quite used to sort of logic-based application development. So whether that's flow or Apex code, if-then-else statements, and really there wasn't much of that at all. So building an agent is quite a different experience for me. It's really just using natural language, like you would talk to ChatGPT, asking questions, except there's no code coming out of it that you then need to deploy. Everything is just natural language. It's, really quite surprising and enjoyable.
Okay. And is there anything moving forward that excites you about the Agentic CRM future?
Certainly, and more so after having gone through this experience yesterday. I think I always think about AI in the same way that we think about how the printing press affected us at the turn of the century. At the time, it would have been very disruptive to the economy and to finding jobs, but today no one's looking for a job writing newspapers manually at scale. And I think you can think about AI in the same way. I think initially it will be quite disruptive, but the way I like to think about these things is that there's a vast amount of efficiency and effectiveness to be gained from deploying agents to simulate, replicate, or complement the work that real-life human beings do, so that they can focus on more higher value-add work. So that's where I see this landscape evolving. And 5-10 years from now, business leaders won't be logging into Salesforce to run some reports or get their insights from some dashboards. They'll be having natural language conversations with their CRM and with their other business and enterprise applications. So that's exciting for me. That's really what I look forward to, is how companies like Salesforce, who provide the technology to enable this, and companies like Trigg that actually do the deployment of these technologies, are really able to create value in the economy.
That's super interesting, Mark, and thank you for that. If you were to give one tip for companies or employees thinking about where they should best deploy an agent, what would it be?
I'd say start small, get really focused. Think about use cases that are relevant to your industry, to your company. Double down on what is it that you do? What is the value that you create as a business in the marketplace? What is your unique selling position or product? Centered around that, but don't overcomplicate things. Just start really small and focused, and just start. Don't get too hung up about how to go about it. Salesforce is there to support you. Trigg is there to support you getting up and running, whether that's doing a business case to prove to your peers in the organization that you can actually benefit from AI, or whether it's implementing something that you've already got an idea for.